For as long as we have been capable of looking at the stars, we have comforted ourselves with a specific lie. We told ourselves that our solar system was a sanctuary. In every textbook, in every classroom, and in every digital rendering of our cosmic neighborhood, the picture is the same. 8 planets, a belt of debris, and a distant icy shell called the Oort Cloud that acts as a definitive border. We viewed our home as a closed ecosystem, a gravitational walled garden where everything belonged to the sun. We believed that whatever happened in the vast, terrifying void between the stars stayed out there, and whatever was born here stayed here. That lie died on October 19, 2017, when a jagged, tumbling shard named Oumuamua screamed through our inner orbit. It died again in 2019 when a rogue comet named Borisov streaked past us from the direction of Cassiopeia. But today, the illusion of our isolation hasn't just been challenged, it has been obliterated. As you watch this, an object known as 3I/Atlas is currently cutting through the space between our planets. It is the 3rd confirmed interstellar visitor in less than a decade. It is moving at 58 kilometers per second. It is not from our sun. It does not obey our laws of circular motion, and it is proving that the solar system is not a fortress. It is a busy, chaotic, and entirely porous intersection in a galaxy that is much more crowded than we ever dared to imagine. The discovery began not with a visual sighting, but with an anomaly in the data. On July 1, 2025, the Asteroid Terrestrial-impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, triggered a high-priority alert from its station in Rio Hurtado, Chile. The system is designed to find things that might kill us, asteroids on a collision course with Earth. But when the software flagged a faint speck of light moving along the border of the constellations Serpens Cauda and Sagittarius, the numbers didn't make sense. It was initially given the internal tracking designation A11PL3Z. At first glance, it looked like a standard comet, a distant ball of ice and rock drifting in from the fringes of our own system. But as more observatories pivoted their mirrors toward it, the mathematics of its movement began to reveal a terrifying reality. To understand why 3I/Atlas is so significant, you have to understand the geometry of a departure. Everything that belongs to our sun moves in an ellipse, a closed loop. Even the most distant comets, which take thousands of years to orbit, are ultimately tethered to our star. Their orbital eccentricity is always less than 1. If an object reaches an eccentricity of exactly 1, it is on a parabolic path, right on the edge of escaping. But 3I/Atlas arrived with an orbital eccentricity of 6.14. That number is a physical impossibility for anything born in our solar system. It is a mathematical signature of a stranger. It means this object is on a strictly hyperbolic trajectory. It didn't come from the Oort Cloud. It didn't get nudged by Neptune. It came from the deep black, from a star system we may never identify, and it is traveling with so much kinetic energy that our sun's massive gravitational well is nothing more than a minor curve in its road. It is a bullet passing through a cloud of smoke. Within 48 hours of its detection, the Minor Planet Center officially designated it C/2025N1, and shortly thereafter, it received its historic title, 3I/Atlas. The 3I stands for the 3rd interstellar object ever confirmed. But as the world's most powerful telescopes, including the James Webb, began to perform a chemical autopsy on this visitor, the mystery only deepened. Unlike Oumuamua, which was an inert, bone-dry shard of rock that baffled scientists with its lack of a cometary tail, 3I/Atlas is active. It is breathing. It has a visible coma and a tail of gas and dust. But the breath of this visitor is alien. Spectroscopic analysis has revealed chemical signatures that should not be there. While most local comets are dominated by water ice and simple carbon molecules, 3I/Atlas is showing early, intense emissions of nickel and iron. It is venting carbon dioxide at rates that suggest its internal structure was forged in an environment far more volatile than our own primordial nebula. More unsettling is its movement. Like Oumuamua, 3I/Atlas is exhibiting non-gravitational acceleration. It is speeding up in ways that gravity alone cannot explain. Standard planetary science tells us this is likely due to outgassing, the rocket effect, where jets of vapor push the object forward. But the jets on 3I/Atlas are not steady. They are complex, wobbling, and seemingly erratic. This has reignited the same fierce debates that followed Oumuamua. Is this a natural, albeit extreme piece of ancient cometary debris from a distant star? Or are we looking at something else? A piece of technology, a derelict probe, or a fragment of a planetary crust shattered in a cataclysm we can't comprehend? The mainstream consensus leans toward the natural. They argue that we are simply seeing a type of comet we haven't encountered before because we've spent our entire history looking only at the local variety. But even the natural explanation carries a weight of horror. If 3I/Atlas is just a rock, it is a rock that has been drifting through the interstellar vacuum for millions, perhaps billions of years. It has crossed the empty gulfs between stars, surviving the radiation of the open galaxy, only to happen upon our tiny circle of light. But here is the pivot point where curiosity turns into existential dread. The most important thing about 3I/Atlas is not what it is made of. The most important thing is that we saw it at all. Think about the sheer volume of our solar system. It is a vast, nearly infinite ocean of empty space. Our planets are like grains of sand scattered across a desert. Our telescopes are like tiny flashlights, illuminating only the smallest fraction of the dark. For 4.5 billion years, we believed these visitors were rare, once-in-a-lifetime anomalies. We saw Oumuamua in 2017 and thought it was a cosmic fluke. We saw Borisov in 2019 and thought we were lucky. Now, in 2025, we have 3I/Atlas. 3 confirmed interstellar objects in just 8 years. When you do the statistical math on that frequency, the conclusion is unavoidable and staggering. We are not seeing these objects because they are rare. We are seeing them because our flashlights are finally getting slightly better. If we can find 3 of them with our current, relatively primitive technology, how many are we missing? Statistical models now suggest that at any given moment, there are at least 10,000 interstellar objects within the orbit of Neptune. 10,000 strangers, right now, moving through the dark between the planets. They are crossing the orbits of Mars, of Jupiter, of Earth. They are silent, they are dark, and they are completely invisible to us because they don't happen to cross our specific sight lines or reflect enough of the sun's light at the exact moment we are looking. The solar system is not a closed garden. It is a busy thoroughfare. It is a waypoint on a galactic highway that has been active since before the Earth was even formed. We have lived our entire lives in a house with the doors and windows wide open, unaware that the wind has been blowing through the living room for eons. We are just now noticing the dust motes dancing in the light. This realization represents a total paradigm shift in how we view our place in the universe. We used to think of the planets as a self-contained family, born from the same cloud of gas, isolated by the vast distances between stars. We thought of interstellar space as a destination, somewhere we would eventually go. We didn't realize that interstellar space is already here. It has always been here. The Oort Cloud, that supposed shell of ice at the edge of our system, is not a wall. It is a sieve. It is constantly being permeated by debris from other stars, and in turn, our sun is constantly shedding its own debris into the void, sending our own visitors to other worlds. The galaxy is trading material. It is a cosmic metabolism, a constant exchange of matter, and perhaps even the building blocks of life. There is a concept in astronomy called lithopanspermia, the idea that life can travel between star systems inside rocks. For decades, this was treated as a fringe theory, a what-if for science fiction. But 3I/Atlas, with its complex chemistry and high-speed trajectory, makes lithopanspermia look less like a theory and more like a statistical inevitability. If 10,000 objects are passing through our system right now, and this has been happening for billions of years, then the Earth has been bombarded by material from thousands of different star systems throughout its history. We aren't just an island. We are part of a vast, interconnected web of debris. Every time an interstellar object passes through, it brings with it the history of another sun. It brings isotopes forged in different supernovae, ices formed in different nebulae, and perhaps the chemical precursors of different biologies. 3I/Atlas is a messenger from a world we will never see, a world that might not even exist anymore. Because of the time it takes to travel between stars, the star system that spat out 3I/Atlas could have died millions of years ago. We are looking at a ghost. The horror of 3I/Atlas is the horror of the unseen. It forces us to confront the fact that our maps of the solar system are incomplete. We have mapped the big things, the planets, the moons, the large asteroids, but we are blind to the traffic. We are like a person standing in the middle of a dark forest, thinking they are alone because they can't see the eyes reflecting in the trees. And the darkness is about to get much brighter. In the coming years, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile will achieve first light. This facility is not just another telescope, it is a survey machine. It will map the entire visible sky every few nights, creating a high-definition time-lapse of the universe. Astronomers estimate that once the Rubin Observatory is fully operational, we will no longer be finding one interstellar visitor every few years. We will be finding them at a rate of 1 to 10 per month. Think about that. Within the next decade, the interstellar visitor will move from a headline-grabbing mystery to a routine weather report. We will see the sky filled with the tracks of strangers. The 3I designation will quickly climb into the hundreds, then the thousands. We will realize that we are living in a blizzard of alien material. This brings us to an uncomfortable question. If the solar system is this porous, if it is this busy, what else has passed through while we weren't looking? In the 4.5 billion years of Earth's history, how many Oumuamuas have struck the moon? How many 3I/Atlases have burned up in our atmosphere? How many objects with truly anomalous characteristics have drifted past Earth while our ancestors were still huddling in caves, or while the dinosaurs were ruling the plains? We have been blind to the most fundamental reality of our neighborhood. We are not alone in this space. Even if there are no aliens in the traditional sense, the space itself is occupied by the remnants of their worlds. The passage of 3I/Atlas is a warning against cosmic provincialism. We can no longer afford to think of our solar system as a bubble. We are a part of the galaxy's flow. The same gravity that keeps us in orbit around the sun is the same gravity that pulls these strangers in, however briefly, before flinging them back out into the dark. As 3I/Atlas makes its closest approach to the Sun and begins its long, accelerating journey back out into the interstellar void, it leaves us with a profound sense of displacement. It is moving too fast for us to catch. We don't have a rocket capable of matching its speed, and by the time we could even try to build one, it will be gone, disappearing into the direction of Pegasus, never to return. It came from the dark, it shared its secrets for a few brief months, and it will return to the dark, a silent wanderer that will continue to drift for millions of years after our Sun has turned into a red giant and swallowed the Earth. We are left staring at the empty space it occupied, realizing that the void is not empty. Every year, thousands of these objects cross our path. They are the silent witnesses to the galaxy's history. They are the shrapnel of distant births and the ashes of distant deaths. 3I/Atlas is not a threat in the physical sense. It won't hit us, and it won't change our orbit. But it is a threat to our peace of mind. It is a reminder that the walls are down, the garden is open, and the strangers have always been here. The next time you look up at the night sky, don't just look at the stars. Look at the black space between them. Try to imagine the 10,000 objects that are currently moving through that blackness, unseen and unmapped. Try to imagine the sheer scale of the traffic we are missing. We are just a small, brightly lit room in a very large, very busy house. And 3I/Atlas was just the latest guest to walk through the door, stay for a moment, and leave without saying a word. The era of the closed solar system is over. We are now citizens of the interstellar medium. We are living in a busy intersection, and the lights are finally being turned on. The horror isn't what 3I/Atlas is. The horror is that it's just the beginning. The more we look, the more we find that the universe is not waiting for us to reach out to it. It is already reaching in. It is already here, passing through our backyard, moving at 58 kilometers per second, indifferent to our boundaries, our maps, and our misplaced sense of security. We are no longer looking out at the universe from a safe distance. We are standing in the middle of it, and the traffic is moving very, very fast. 3I/Atlas is the third. It will not be the last. And as the Vera Rubin Observatory begins its work, we may find that the most terrifying thing about the universe isn't how far away everything is. It's how close the rest of the galaxy has always been. The strangers are here. They have always been here. We are just finally learning how to see them. And as we watch 3I/Atlas fade into the distance, we have to wonder, what is the next one? Where is it right now? Is it already inside the orbit of Mars? Is it passing behind the moon? Is it a rock? Or is it something else? The data is coming in. The telescopes are tracking. But the one thing we know for certain is that the silence of the solar system was always an illusion. The vacuum is crowded. The borders are gone. And we are just one small part of a much larger, much more terrifyingly active galactic machine. The story of 3I/Atlas is the story of our awakening. It is the moment we realized that the interstellar isn't a place you go to. It's the place we've been living all along. We just didn't have the eyes to see it. Now we do. And the view is both beautiful and deeply, fundamentally unsettling. We are a waypoint. We are a stop on a journey that began before us and will continue long after we are gone. We are part of the interstellar flow, and the visitors will keep coming, one after another, until we finally accept that our home has never been a sanctuary. It has always been a crossroads.